Hey, if you like Journey or Steve Perry, I think you're going to enjoy this video that I have for you today. What it is I found an interview with Steve Perry that he gave. This was after he was super famous in Journey. And he talks a little bit about going back home to where he grew up. And it also has kind of this untold story, very briefly, about him donating a whole bunch of money to a charity, a hospital back in his hometown. And I think you'll enjoy listening to this. It's very short, but especially if you like Steve Perry, if you like Journey, I think you'll enjoy this. So I'm going to start here. They called it, the name of this article is Return of the Native. And actually, if you're watching this on the screen, you saw a second ago, I've got Steve Perry. They have a picture of him here singing live. And underneath the picture, it says, Steve Perry, lead singer of Journey, treats the Fresno audience to his vocal style at Sunday's Ratcliffe Stadium concert. Now, this article, just to put it in context, is August 2nd, 1983 in the Fresno Bee. And in 1983, this is when Frontiers was out. And the following year is when he would put out Street Talk. So he had not done his solo album yet. And they actually mentioned that in the article. And so this was, but they were a huge band at this point. I mean, they'd already been through Escape, which really, really put them on the map back in 81, I think is when that one came out. And then here in 83, they put out Frontiers, and they had the song Separate Ways and Faithfully. And I mean, they were huge at this point. So anyway, so that's the context of this article. So the article is titled Return of the Native. Steve Perry gives talent money back to his valley. And then it says, in his eyes, swoons 21-year-old Sandra Carlton about her favorite rock singer, Steve Perry. You can tell by looking at him perform that he puts real feelings into his songs. But by the way, I saw Journey a couple times, and he was one of the greatest frontmen, singer performers. He really did. There was something just electric charisma about him on stage. He was awesome. So good. Okay, Perry, lead singer of one of America's most popular rock groups and native of Hanford, California, by the way, returned to the Valley with his band, Journey, for a concert at Fresno's Ratcliffe Stadium Sunday. The San Joaquin Valley runs through my veins, said Perry. I come back here to get my head together. This is the place where I cool out. I have so many friends, so many memories, and so many good times I still have here. I need the Valley. Perry is indeed a Valley boy in every sense of the word. Born and reared in Hanford, he graduated from Lemoore High School in 1967 and attended College of the Sequoias in Visalia. He owns a house above the valley floor at Shaver Lake, and his girlfriend is from Bakersfield. Perry said he visits his mother, who still lives in Hanford, and his grandfather, who lives in Morro Bay, whenever he can. Quote, now that I have time off, I really do the best I can to go see them. I very seldom get to see my parents since we, Journey, travel 6 months out of the year. The tall, lithe, 34-year-old singer has shoulder-length black hair, brown eyes, and a natural smile formed by the curved-up corners of his mouth. He has a demeanor more of a school teacher than a famous rock star. Quote, what bothers me, Perry said, is that everyone thinks I'm something I'm really not. I haven't changed. I'm still the same guy from Hanford, unquote. Perry said his parents provided the inspiration that ultimately led him to superstardom. Quote, my father was a singer and my mother was a can-can dancer at the Hanford Auditorium, Perry recalled. I thought I saw my father do Al Jolson once. I was quite young then, unquote. Perry sang in school choirs and took piano lessons for a short while and said he had no other career aspirations. He had no other career aspirations than being a singer. Quote, although I did always go around telling my parents I wanted to be a, and then it puts in parentheses mimicking a young child's voice, movie tar, unquote. After graduating from Lemoore High School, Perry sang with a Valley-based band called the Sullys before finally moving to Los Angeles. Perry was not an overnight success once he left the Valley to seek his fame and fortune. It was a long, slow move to success, said Perry. Besides, there was a lot of adapting to city life. I'm not a city person, being born and raised here, and it was difficult getting used to. That's why it feels so good to come home. While thought of by many to be the musical pride and joy of the San Joaquin Valley, Steve Perry has many things he himself is proud of. Quote, I'm really proud of what everyone in the band has accomplished and how each of us has grown, said Perry. I'm proud of my gold records. I have my own house and my own car. I really enjoy having financial freedom, unquote. Perry paused for a moment, then closed his eyes before changing to a more serious expression. Quote, what I'm most proud of right now is being able to finally come to Fresno and have something to offer, besides just coming to perform and then taking the money and run, he said. I feel like I owe something to the Valley, which is why we're donating $50,000 from the concert to Valley Children's Hospital. I remember my mother volunteering her time to help raise funds for the hospital and then having me give the check away. That made a definite impression on me, and now it's my turn to help out. I think some of the reason big groups don't come through here is that you have such a powerful city council and they don't want big groups here, unquote. Perry's future plans include recording a solo album, as will other members of the group. Quote, this will give us a chance to breathe and give us a better look at our individual selves, unquote. Perry's long-term plans include returning to Hanford to settle in. And then he finishes the article by saying, I've been a lot of places around the world, but I'm still just a Valley boy. And then if you're watching this rather than just listening to it, you can see there's actually all of Journey holding up this check the date is July 30th, 1983, Valley Children's Hospital, $50,000 for the children of Fresno. It's signed Steve Perry. It's one of those giant checks. And you can see the band members there holding the check. Steve Smith on the left, Neil Schon, Steve Perry, Ross Valerie, and then Jonathan Cain. And that's all who's standing there. So and then underneath the picture, Steve Perry Center and his band Journey presented a check for $50,000 to the Valley Children's Hospital. Anyway, I thought you would enjoy that just because it was kind of interesting just to listen to him talking about going back home. You don't ever think about those things with some of these guys that are these rock stars and, see the music videos, you go see them in concert and you don't spend a lot of time thinking about what they're like, the hometown they go to, and they have a mom and the family and all that stuff. And anyway, getting that little look into that with Steve Perry, who became such a just legend in the history of popular music, rock music, and probably one of the most recognized singing voices of the 80s, if not just even to today. You hear Steve Perry and you go, that's Steve Perry. Just an amazing singer. Anyway, if you remember this period of time when they were big and during the Frontiers period before Street Talk, and by the way, what did you think of Frontiers? Escape was such a pivotal album. Of course, that was the first time that Jonathan Cain was in the band. That huge hits, Don't Stop Believing's on there. Frontiers, to me, was a little bit of a letdown, looking back. And then, of course, Raised on Radio, I think that was the one that was after that. And then by then, they had hits on all these albums. But they started, I don't know, they kind of lost me a little bit on some of those right there. Anyway, I'd love to get your feedback on that stuff too, what you thought about that, and his solo album, which of course had, Oh, Sherry, oh, love, oh, love. Everybody's heard that one. All right, anyway, again, follow the channel, like the video, and please leave any feedback, thoughts, memories, whatever about this stuff. And with that, have yourself a fantastic day.